Hi everyone, I am here today to show you how I use Glossier products to create this look. I have my Glossier sweatshirt on. Funny story, this sweatshirt was intended for me, but then it came and it was actually kind of big and it looks really great on my husband. So we have shared custody of the Glossier sweatshirt. Today I am wearing it, maybe tomorrow he will wear it. So they do sell sweatshirts, but they also sell skincare and makeup. And if you're not familiar with Glossier, I will give you a very brief little synopsis. Glossier is a New York-based company. They do have a showroom there, but it is mostly an online retailer. It was started by Emily Weiss. She is the author and creator of the very popular beauty blog called Into the Gloss. And she created this line to be very approachable, very cool girl-esque. That's the vibe I always got from it. It's a minimalist makeup look for sure. They also have skincare. I've reviewed their skincare before and I've reviewed a lot of these products as well. So I'll link those reviews below. But I wanted to show you how I put together a full face of Glossier. It's definitely a lighter look. It's an easier look, I feel like. This is makeup that anybody could use and apply. And in fact, in this tutorial, I am going to use 0 brushes to apply this look because I think these products are perfect for applying with your fingers. If you like a lighter look, you probably will want to see how to create this look too because it's easy, it's fresh and easy. So if you'd like to see how I created this look with all Glossier products, just keep watching. Before we get into this, I am going to moisturize my lips with Balm Dotcom. That's hard to say. I am using the birthday one. It's not my birthday. Maybe it's your birthday. I just really like how this one smells and it has a slight sparkle to it. So I'm gonna apply that first. I don't know, I chose to talk while I did it. So that way that can sit while we do all the other steps, and then by the time we get to the end, our lips will be moisturized. The Complexion product from Glossier that most people would use to even out their skin tone is called Perfecting Skin Tint. I do not have that because I know for a fact it would not offer enough coverage for me. As you can see, I need it. So I'm going to kind of make a similar product using a few Glossier products, and then I am going to use a foundation because I need to. But I'm going to kind of cocktail the Invisible Shield Daily Sunscreen with the Glossier Priming Moisturizer, and then I'm going to take a serum foundation that I can add some coverage in. So I'm going to sort of make my own CC BB cream. So I'm going to put some of the priming moisturizer in my hand. I'm gonna do 2 pumps of the sunscreen so I've got some sun protection in there. And then I'm going to take my dropper foundation and add some for coverage. I guess that was like 6 or 8. So I'm gonna rub it all together. And this is gonna kind of create the Perfecting Skin Tint type of coverage, but still allowing me to cancel out a lot of that discoloration you see on my face. We evened out our skin tone a little bit, but now we are going to go in with Glossier's Stretch Concealer. This is shade Light, and I'm going to use this mostly on my under eye area to cancel out and prime my eyelids for eyeshadow, and then I'll kind of spot conceal elsewhere, but I do like the color of this more for brightening under eyes because as you can see, it is 1 to 2 shades lighter than my actual skin tone. And I'm just using a patting motion. You don't really want to rub this around. It's called Stretch Concealer, and it does have some, I believe they're called microcrystalline waxes in it, and I do think that it flexes nicely on the under eye area, but you could get some creases if you over apply it. So I would just pat, make sure you're not putting too much on there. I'm gonna pat on the other eye. All right, so it does have a nice level of coverage. I find that this works well for everyday brightening on the under eye area. No, it's not gonna be like a heavy duty concealer if you're one of those people that likes to do the really dramatic triangle. It's not super duper opaque, but it's nice for easy application. As you can see, I'm doing it with my finger. I'm not using any brushes. And I'm gonna kind of, spot it around other areas that do get a little red. So around the nose, that's a common area. For some reason, above my top lip, like that always gets red for me. I'm gonna do the tip of my nose because makeup tends to wear away there quicker. So I'm kind of just spotting it on other areas that there might be like dark spots, post-blemish marks. It is light coverage for those because those are pretty intense dark spots, but it's kind of the whole Glossier vibe is letting your skin show through. I mean, I don't think Glossier is ever going to put out a full coverage foundation because that's just not really their whole vibe. All right, so now we've got our skin evened out. We've got our under eye circles brightened a little bit, and we're going to move on with the complexion part. All right, these are probably, yeah, I think these are my favorite Glossier product. These are just really unique. Until I used Cloud Paints, I had never really found a liquid blush like this, at least not one that blended out so nicely. And I tend to use these two a lot. I have Dusk and I have Beam, so I've got like a peachy color and more of a brownie nude color. I feel like if you're in doubt, Dusk is going to work for most people. Beam is like a true peach. I am going to mix Beam and Dusk for my cheeks. Some people like to use Dusk as like a contour, but I don't really feel like I need to do that. So I usually just take kind of an even amount of both and I mix them on the back of my hand. And then I apply and blend in a tapping motion. I don't find that you need to rub these, and I think that the best way to apply is in this type of motion, tapping only, especially if you've applied concealer. You don't want to move that around. So I'm just building up coverage with the blush on my higher cheekbone. I do blush higher because I feel like it adds nice lift when you move it up a little bit. So I'm kind of blurring out the edges. I don't obviously want a stripe or a circle on my face, so I'm kind of making sure that the edges are nice and diffused out. Now you will get a little bit of cheek redness from that tapping motion, so you might want to like let your cheeks calm down and then come back and add a little more coverage if you need to. So while I still have the Cloud Paints out, I'm going to show you how I use Dusk as an eye color. I love this color for the crease and really an all over shade because it's got that warmth that I think looks beautiful on every eye color. So I'm going to take my ring finger and get some of Dusk on my fingertip, smooth out the crease that concealer has made. Probably got too much. And I'm going to tap that on the crease of my eye. You could put it all over the lid too. I'm going to use a Glossier eyeshadow for that, so I'm kind of leaving the lid open. But I am adding warmth and definition to our crease with Dusk. I do this a lot. It's really easy, especially if you're already using the blush on your face. You might as well just get double duty out of it and put it on your eyes. You want to make sure that the color does peek up above your crease. So I apply it with my head tilted back, and then I look straight on in the mirror so that I can make sure that enough of it is actually showing, because that's kind of the point. So got that added in there. Now we can move on to our eyes and brows. Now brows is where Glossier really shines again. This is probably my second favorite product from them. This is Boy Brow, and this is a tinted brow gel with a cute little wand that it's going to add color, as you can see, but it's not going to add a ton of color. If you need to fill in, like I have a blank spot here, I will use the tip of the applicator and kind of dot it where I want it and then brush it back up through. This is a great product for really natural looking, fast eyebrows. Like this is what I use when I don't have time to use a pencil or a powder, and I just kind of want that brushed up, set in place look. As you can see, I mean, it does add a lot of definition, and I have, you know, obviously a lot of eyebrow as it is. This product might not be great if you really don't have a lot of brow hair to start with. You might need to fill in a little bit first with a powder or a pencil or a pomade. I mean, while we're talking brow products with P's. So I am just using all upward strokes here because I want to keep my eyebrows lifted. That's kind of the point of defining your brows, is it does add lift to your face. I always tell people it's kind of the quickest, painless facelift. All right, our eyebrows are defined and they are going to stay in place because Boy Brow is a brow gel. Now we are ready to add a little bit more definition on our eyes. I'm going to use one of the Lidstar. These are liquid eyeshadows. They're not a cream, they're a liquid. They have a doe foot applicator, so you can dot it right on your eye. You can put it on your finger, then press it on. I think that's what I am going to do. I'm going to put some on my finger and then press it on. You can use brushes for these, but I'm trying to keep this tutorial all fingers because I really think that a lot of us, when we are pressed for time, our fingers are the closest available tools sometimes. And as long as they are clean, I think your fingers are some of the best makeup application tools you were born with. So, as you can see, this is definitely a sheer wash of color. That's why I don't really feel like these are like a true cream shadow. They're not like, you know, a MAC paint pot or something. These are very watercolor-like in consistency. The texture does remind me of the Cloud Paint blushes in a way. Almost more fluid though. So I am pressing, I am not rubbing. Again, same way I like to work with the Cloud Paint texture. So you can build up another layer. I am going to do that initial layer, and I didn't tell you, this is the shade Cub. I really like this color for blue eyes, green eyes, cool tone gray eyes. It's just a really pretty warm rose gold contrast. So I'm wearing Cub on my eyes. I also have two other shades. I have Fawn, which is kind of it's a really neat color. It is a taupey, purplish color. It's not at all what I thought. I thought it was gonna be bronze, and it's really not. And then I have Moon. And Moon, I wanted to be like a true champagne, but it's got this interesting blue shift in it. And I'm not quite sure if I like that, but I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to use it just to highlight a few points. So I'm gonna do that inner corner highlight with my pinky finger, because I wanna keep it just concentrated on the inner corner. So I'm tapping some of Moon on the inner corners. And then I don't do a ton of brow bone highlight, but if you want to, you could do just like the very highest part. I don't like to do a whole frosty brow bone, but I will do the highest pinpoint there to add a little bit of reflection. There we go. All right, I mean, you could, while you're at it, let's put it there too. So we've got Cub all over the lid, and we've got Moon on some highlight points. You could press this on the center too, but then I don't really want that blue coming through. I really want this to be that Cub color. So I think I'm gonna just press a little bit more of that onto the center so I can keep the eyelids that true rose gold. So pressing more at the very lash line and the center of my eye. Now you could either take Cub, the Lidstar, and do that on your lower lash line. You could use your Dusk Cloud Paint there. I am going to just mix it up and use that Fawn Lidstar and sort of do this just as lower lash line definition. I'm going to just look up is the easiest way to do this, and just kind of press it on the very outer corner and drag it in a little bit. Not all the way across though. This is just going to like subtly define the lower lash line. Glossier does not have an eyeliner nor a mascara, so I'm not going to apply any eyeliner at all, but I will grab a different brand of mascara. I don't mind that they don't have an eyeliner. I'm not really a don't leave the house without eyeliner person. I leave the house without eyeliner a lot, actually. So I do like the more open look, and that's, again, kind of what Glossier is all about. Like, very minimalist, fresh, as though you could have woken up like this. Okay, so I put on some mascara. I did choose a formula that is more lengthening. It's not a super thickening mascara, and I did that because I do want to keep the look consistent. I want it to be light and natural. Glossier has lip colors, which are called Generation G, and they are like a slim little lip color. They are all like a semi-matte finish. They're supposed to give you like that blotted off look. So like if you had applied a traditional lipstick, blotted it off, and then that type of color and the texture that's left behind. And then they do have a lip gloss. They just have one, it's just one shade, and it's a clear lip gloss that you could put over the Generation G. So that's what we're gonna do. I am older, like in YouTube years, I am a bit older. I'm 34, and I find that I love glossy lips. I think it looks beautiful and healthy, and I love a little reflection, especially in photos, but I find that younger girls do not really like the lip gloss look. I don't know. Thank you, Glossier, for putting a lip gloss out for us Old Folk. So I've got 2 shades here and I'm gonna kind of mix them because my nude color would be Cake, but it's almost too nude like to the point that you can't tell if I have anything on. But then I also love Zip, but it's a pretty bold lip. Like you could layer this for a red lip. So I'm gonna apply Zip first, but really lightly. So you can customize the finish of these based on the pressure. So I'm not gonna use a lot of pressure. I'm gonna do it lightly and almost just like tap it on my lips. That's going to give you more of a stain versus like a lipstick look. You could totally just leave Zip as it is. I really like the color, but I am going to kind of show you like an ombre effect you can do if you have another color. So this is Cake, and that's that lighter nude. Now we are going to top our lips with that gloss. Now, because this is clear, it's a clear gloss in a clear container, I do think that if you kept applying this over color, you're gonna get this doe foot, like kind of gross and dirty. And that doesn't bother me a ton, but I know some people that wouldn't want to like ruin it. So you can always like put the gloss on your finger and then not just apply it straight to your lips so that you can keep it clean in there. Here is our finished Glossier look. I really like this look because it was really easy to do. It was fast. We used only our fingers. I know sometimes you probably watch tutorials that are very in-depth with 1,000 products, and it's kind of how I feel when I watch cooking videos. Once they use too many ingredients, or they'll use like tools that I don't have, and if there's too much chopping and dicing and sauteing, I've just tuned out. I'm like, that's nice for you, but I'm not going to do it. So I don't want you to ever feel like that with a makeup tutorial where you get overwhelmed and you just don't even attempt. I still think it's polished and professional. You look like you put in some effort, but you also look like you didn't spend hours on your face. But even if you do spend hours on your face, who cares? They're your hours, spend them however you want. Now, if there are some Glossier products in this video that you absolutely have to try now, but you've never shopped from Glossier before, make sure you do so via my link in the description bar below. Not because it's my link, but because it will automatically save you 20% off at checkout with your first order via my link. So you should definitely do that so you can try out products at 20% off. As always, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.